Hi, my name is Zach. Today we're going to be watching the David Files. I wanted to kind of ignore this whole story after the whole Charlie Kirk shooting, and then the girl on the Ukrainian girl getting stabbed in the neck, and then the Charlie Kirk shooting. I hear this new story about some guy with that had a black Tesla, and they found a body in it, and like I didn't know who he was, and come to find out he's actually a famous singer, and I guess that's why the story just won't die. I mean, I'm not trying to say that we gotta ignore horrible things. Obviously not. We gotta spread awareness. But it's just like after back to back to back, all these things happening, I just kind of wanted to filter it out for my own mental health. But yeah, fuck it. Let's just get into it.
In the past year or so, David seemed to be transitioning from a TikTok phenomenon to a genuine mainstream artist. On top of his debut album, peaking near the top 10 on the charts in April, the Houston native also hit network TV with a performance on Jimmy Kimmel, and rubbed shoulders with the likes of SZA, Billie Eilish, Pharrell, Benny Blanco, and Lil Yachty, among others. All in all, it looked like the world was about to become very acquainted with his art, as droves of people either tuned in to hear him on streaming services or to see him on tour. But now, the entire planet knows him for something far darker, with both his list of famous collaborators and 36 million plus
And it's kind of crazy because he looks like a positive dude, you know what I'm saying?
listeners on Spotify, learning that this budding star in their mid
But the painted nails.
was possibly a sick and disturbed man. Because now, a revelation has come to light that has changed everything. As now, it seems like not just one, but two lives may be over in different senses.
Tonight, more than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David, Los Angeles.
And Jesus Christ, like I like living, I like being alive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate to go out that way. Out of all cars, a fucking Tesla, a fucking Nazi mobile.
Investigators identifying the remains as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, the same
That is so fucking awful. A fucking 15-year-old
girl
man.
who was reported missing last year, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's
Oh my
Office.
God.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is the horror of the David Files. Before David ever picked up a mic, the young David Anthony Burke wanted to be a gamer and streamer. Previously among the best Fortnite players in the world, David started making music purely to soundtrack his gameplay videos. But over time, this morphed into something bigger. And after he started fine-tuning his sound, he began dropping compositions like Romantic Homicide, the very track which propelled him to success.
I love talking about Romantic Homicide in particular because it's the only song that I've ever made where everything was done in one take. Look, like the entire lead vocal, there's no cuts. The background vocals, no cuts. And the entire thing is only one lead and then just some oohs and ahs in the background. Literally every single word is improvised. As soon as I heard the first 15 seconds, I knew what I had to say. And the first word I said was, "I'm scared," and everything else followed after. It was the most flow state-like thing of all time.
So then you stay in the closet to add those backing vocals,
Right.
then one other layer, then you're out.
Literally, it's that quick. And then the rest of the process is just
You know, that's just music in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes all that editing, going back and forth and shit like that. Obviously, taking your time is good with music, but sometimes what's meant to be is just meant to be. Sometimes you don't have to. You don't have to do some rocket science to make a hit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
it's me hitting the three dots and then
But one thing I will say on his phone is that's impressive.
speeding it up,
Right.
pitching it up. And this is the version that's on streaming.
Obscure.
And then I would just dropped it like that.
Yeah.
Literally.
You've done it before school.
Exactly. It's time for school. Right after that, I had to do like 6 assignments. It's crazy.
A dense and dark song, it was such a shift from what he had done before that this mom had her reservations about the themes he was exploring.
Whenever my mom hates something, I know it's cool.
I gotta hear this song. I gotta hear this song again because my wife showed me, and I was driving and I was not fully there. All I remember was saying that this is so fucking good, right? Like this is insane. How fucking good this song is. I don't know if it's gonna be the same, but like when I was driving, that's what she showed me. And he low-key kind of sounds like The Neighborhood. It just sounds so smooth and like rockish. Like, it sounds very beautiful, but like it's kind of fucking creepy. Like, now the song is covering his eyes is like symbolism for him not like not wanting to see what he did or something. I don't know. Bro's waiting for her to be legal. And bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, it's like all these, you know what I'm saying, all these options that you got, like adults, and you have to get with the kid. There's got to be a confession, like this got to be used in court. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro just said, and I didn't even regret it. Like, fam, what the fuck? And I feel so bad because like it's just such a good sounding song, and I'm just vibing. Dude, oh my god.
Like when I used to get up and get dressed for school in the morning, I put on this cool fit. She was like, take that off, put on a suit or something like that, you know? I knew it was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car. She was like, David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son. And I was like, wait, I might be onto something, bro. So I dropped it right after that. And it went crazy. TikTok, viral, 1 million views overnight. I was like, oh yeah, we cooking, boy. We cooking, boy. So right at that moment, I was like, my mom has done it again.
And in the wake of everything that's happened since, it's hard to not word if perhaps she foretold what was to come. Because now, this track, which he notably dropped on the birthday of a young girl at the center of this story, only adds to the surreality of this entire situation that we find ourselves in. We're in a documentary now, guys. Listening to him now feels like standing in the middle of a crime scene. This whole situation is just wild. The core of this warped tale begins with a glance inside the back of an impounded Tesla. After workers on the lot dedicated a foul stench, detectives responded and located possible,
Like, out of all cars to die in, it gotta be a Nazi mobile. Like,
human remains. A spokesperson for the LAPD said, "It is currently a death investigation." When they looked inside, the body
Really?
was badly decomposed and dismembered, with the police revealing that she
nope, the body's still warm.
appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an
Bro, why does it feel like ChatGPT wrote this?
extended period of time before being found, while also mentioning she was wearing a tube top and black leggings, size small. Despite the state that the remains were in, the girl was identified by her mother, and when asked about the girl, she promptly said that she had a boyfriend named David. Soon, it was revealed that the vehicle was registered to none other than the gamer-turned-singer who recently contributed to the soundtrack for Netflix's Arcane. But to say things were about to go from bad to worse doesn't even cut it. When it was initially announced that the impounded car was registered to the artist, it was claimed that David, who was on tour at the time, was fully cooperating with the cops. Initially, the news was shocking, but by no means career-ending. After all, it was possible there was some rational explanation, but that was before the details of the victim were made public. As once the name Celeste Rivas Hernandez entered the publication domain, everything changed. A 14-year-old girl who went permanently missing around May of 2020.
14?
Celeste had been absent from her family home in Lake Elsinore for over a year. At the time, missing posters pleaded for information on her location, and while neither the cops or her family seemed to know about her whereabouts, the public now believes that David did all along. But at the time, he kept it pushing on the career front, conducting interviews 18 days after Celeste had officially been declared missing, as though he didn't have a care in the world.
300,000, 400,000, some got millions,
Okay, so that just happened.
like that.
Okay, and then what happened?
So then fast forward like a month or two, I'm making a lot of money. My mom's like, okay, maybe the game's not rotting your brain. I start getting copyright strikes left and right from UMG, and I'm like, what in the world is UMG? I don't know what UMG is.
Yeah.
So I'm not making any money now. I got the red money sign on all my videos, and I'm like crying to my mom about it. I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm not making any money anymore, blah, blah, blah. And she was like on a phone or something. She was like, just make your own music, go.
Back then, he had more people buying into his persona and journey to fame, leading many commentators to salute him in ways that they'd likely regret now. This guy's origin story isn't something extremely special, but I think that's the beauty of it as well. The average teenager making his dream come true. David is goated. But looking back, both fans and those who only became aware of him after the discovery of Celeste.
I mean, yeah, this part of the story, it's somebody who made his dreams come true. I mean, this is not a problem. You know what I'm saying? This is how he's got on the radar. You know what I'm saying?
are freaking out at the fact that he appeared to drop hints about both his unsavory relationship with this literal child and her death itself. Among the things they cite include a scene
Like,
from a
how
music
old
video.
is bro right now? Like fucking. So he's 20. Damn. What the fuck?
Which showed a body being placed into a trunk.
Wait. What?
Music video and her death itself. Among the things they cite include a scene from a music video which showed a body being placed into a trunk. Elsewhere, there was exemplary self-snitching in the form of a leaked track where he seemed to hint about withholding info about a murder of a woman.
Nobody ever caught me, but I've spoken too soon. In the back of a police car, I forgot whatever I knew. I ain't telling nothing.
There was another.
This just reminds me of that one Key and Peele skit. Oh my god, where they're just like Key and Peele rapper skit, where like basically the rap album Confessions. It literally just reminds me of that. Like basically, if you haven't seen it, it's just like a rapper who just keeps saying his next move and just keeps self-snitching. I feel like hip hop has its problems. Like at the end of the day, it's like, yes, tell your story about who the fuck you really are, but if you're psychotic, like maybe don't. I'm not saying like as a way to hide them, but it's like maybe like, I mean, don't be so obvious, right? I mean, it helps us that they're obvious and stupid in their tracks, but it's like, I don't know, it's just creepy. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't know, that song is really good and it's ruined it with this weirdness.
From 2023 too, where he mentioned her by name. Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her clothes on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. In the next verse, he adds, Oh Celeste, afraid you will only love me when undressed, but you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress. Bear in mind,
These are the most ABC rhymes I've ever heard in my life.
this being recorded in 2023 means that Celeste was at most 12 or 13 when it was released. And considering the tone of those lyrics, that's disgusting to say the very least. As mentioned previously, David was in the midst of his Withered World Tour and still performed even as the news broke, giving out Lububus to fans in a way that can't help but to seem leering and creepy now that his appetites have been revealed.
Yeah, them little boo-boos are so fucking ugly, and my wife likes them, and I really think that she needs mental health help. La boo-boos. Like, this looks scary. You cannot pay me to sit here in line and say that this shit is cute. This shit look demonic as fuck. This shit look possessed. This shit is ugly. Brother, ugh. See, this is a good one. My baby LeBron. Yeah, fam. Yeah, nah. And of course, bro's just giving them away at a concert.
Not to mention that during his shows, he had a casket as well as opportunities for fans to write letters to the deceased. Now, this might have just been theatrics, but based on everything that's occurring now, it doesn't exactly look good, does it?
Like, that's crazy. Like even in his music video, he had like a dead body going in a car, and then it happened in real life. Like, I feel like that should be enough to like get bro like in jail. You know what I'm saying?
After initially looking to persevere as if nothing was happening, David's hand was eventually forced, and he paused his tour.
And also in that song, he's like, I hate you. Like, bro, have you tried therapy?
Following the revelation of the ID, which transpired after the matching tattoo was on their fingers, which read, shh, was pointed out by her mother. Now, this is not exactly an uncommon tattoo. but given the secret nature of their relationship, it takes a far darker tone, particularly when you consider that Celeste wasn't even old enough to get a tattoo legally. As the connections between David and Celeste began to become apparent, the LAPD seized a computer and various bags of evidence from a house. And if you're wondering why his computer would be vital, it's because, by the looks of it, David had been incriminating himself online for a long time before anything came to light. In a series of leaked messages from David's own dedicated Discord, it appears that the tragic girl at the center of it all was a member. Celeste in here, hi David, Bart. And even more shockingly, it seems like their relationship was flaunted across this online space. He has a GF, her name is Celeste. Considering people were privy to it, this whole thing makes it feel like it could have been averted. But not only were they aware of her once mysterious fate, but actively referenced it. Drop the one with the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Said a message from a user that was sent in August of 2024. At times, it seems like David actually did strive to protect his reputation, with video of he and Celeste showing him consciously covering his tracks. At one stage, she even called him out as a PDF during a live stream.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
What? How? Yo, I mean, I could see how people could think this is trolling, but like, what the fuck? Like, why is this just news now?
Mwah, mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything goes.
Don't
Everything.
delete
On
it.
account of Celeste no longer being here, we can't get exact details on the nature of their relationship. But at the moment, everything points to it being a deeply inappropriate one, which led her to running away from home. And text messages alleged to have been sent from her sister confirm this. I don't want to talk to anyone. Are you still going to talk to David or go back with him? I don't want you to get into any more trouble. I only bled with David. But the message rabbit hole doesn't end there, with a message from David in his Discord, leading to speculation that she might have even been pregnant. Me and deleted user got a kid on the way. Although he had coveted his position in the limelight, the chat logs of David provide every indication that behind the scenes, he was a messed up dude. Specifically in messages such as these that read, "Gore better than corn. I used to be addicted to watching gore vids." And now every aspect of his life, from his bloody shirt merch,
Yeah, people could watch just something terrible just like that, like for shits and giggles, like needs like help. You know what I'm saying? Needs like police supervision so they don't commit no crimes. You know what I'm saying?
to the lyrics of his songs is being re-evaluated. And the harder that people look into the situation, the circumstances surrounding how Celeste was found just aren't quite adding up.
David Tesla was repoed on September 8th. He started his tour August 5th, 9th. They said the car was sitting for over 30 days before it got repoed. He reported it missing in between that, but it's been sitting before he started his tour. Called to report a Tesla missing. Now chat, anybody in chat, go to Google and say, can I call Tesla? If my Tesla is missing, can I call Tesla to track it? Watch what it shows you. You could have called Tesla. A Tesla of all cars you report.
Another thing too, isn't Tesla like always recording? Yeah, because my friend, he just bought a Tesla and they're always constantly recording or something like that. I think he told me.
Missing. When you can call Tesla and get it tracked. That don't make sense. They said the car was sitting for over 30 days. So from when the car was impounded on the 8th, we can add 31 days plus add some change. That's days, if not a week or more before he started his tour, bro. Nigga was dating a 13-year-old, bro. Probably got her pregnant. That's why he did that stupid shit. That shit f***ed up, man. Another one bites the...
It's crazy because like that's like someone's daughter. That's probably someone's little sister and like niece. Shit like that. Like that was a whole life taken. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely I ain't trying to, you know, put, you know, the that motherfucker did it. Alright, bro, that's all I'm trying to say. I keep fucking stuttering.
Left with a gnawing sense of guilt, the news of Celeste's passing has people who had seen them together in the past struggling with the sense that this could have been prevented.
As many of you may know, a body was recently found dismembered in a Tesla belonging to David, a popular singer. Today, the body was identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Right when the picture went public of Celeste, I instantly recognized her from 2024 in April when her and David came together to a jewelry shop I used to work at. I remember this moment so vividly because when they came in, there was something off about Celeste. She was very high, and she was with David, who I recognize because he's a popular singer, but she was very obviously younger than him, and she was very out of it. I was helping her out with jewelry, and she was all over the place.
So maybe that's what he was doing, was getting her high to rape her.
So that situation really stuck in my brain, and I really remembered her face. So when her picture was released to the public, I instantly recognized her as the girl that was with David. And the fact that she was found in his trunk, dismembered, is just unbelievably sad and horrific. And my heart just goes out to the family and her friends and everybody who was affected by her death. But there is a lot of questions around this and a lot of unanswered questions. So please, find answers.
But as it turns out, David went to great lengths to keep this all under wraps, even using his financial reserves to keep this sick bond secret. This guy is a PDF from what I've heard. My sister is now in the 9th grade, and she told me that he was dating an 8th grader, and she would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in the 9th grade now, and it turns out Celeste's friends knew, and who would pay them to keep their mouths shut. This idea of David putting money into keeping the situation from the public eye hasn't just been expressed by one person either. Over on Instagram, another user said that he told me he gave someone in El Salvador money because he was with a minor, and showed me a picture of it too. I didn't even know if I believed it at the time, but now I'm tweaking. This was the pic bro showed me. I'm not capping. Amid the screenshots and chat logs mounting up, David is now trying to remove ties from Celeste from the public eye, even removing his name from a shared playlist that he had collaborated with her on. Meanwhile, others shed light on just how long the two had been linked together.
Yeah, nah, bro, you're caught. Sorry.
With one insider from his gaming days revealing David had known Celeste since she was 10. We were all in a Fortnite team called Chronic, which is where I met him. He met her in like 2021 through Fortnite, I'm pretty sure, and then he got her Discord. Everyone in the team knew about her, and he would joke about it in
It's crazy. That's why, like, you gotta, like, always make sure you know who the fuck is around you, because, like, this motherfucker looks so unharmful. You know what I'm saying? He just looks like a jolly little kid and stuff like that. But, like, no, he's a pedophile, rapist, murderer. Like, what the fuck?
Brush it off every time it got mentioned. That's all I personally know. But my friend Pistol knows more because they talked way more. She would literally say he fucked her, but then followed it up saying it was a joke. So I don't know if he was being real or not. He was just also a weirdo, to be honest. While in another flagrant exercise in self-snitching, cryptic tweets from David appeared to allude to actively stopping someone from going back to their family. When I was writing this, I got a notie from you. As you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and sister again, take me where I belong. But our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We gotta push through it, bro. It's a damning look, and people aren't hesitating to let him know either. Yeah, it's over, bro. Pack it all up. You are sick. And now, there are already signs suggesting that's the case before he's even charged. To begin, David just canceled the European and UK dates of his tour in support of the new album Withered. Around the same time, the deluxe version of the project was shelved, and Hollister removed their images of him on their site, while Kali Uchis has promptly pulled a collab, declaring, "Not my friend. I did a song with him, which is currently in the process of being taken down given today's disturbing news." Now, other people who had encountered him are now retroactively blowing the whistle.
I've known this stuff since 2023. 2023.
Why do people do this? Like, they speak up, like, when everybody else speaks up. It's like, fam, where's the cojones?
This stuff since 2023. At first I brushed it off. I thought it was just a misunderstanding. Now that everything's coming to light, it all makes sense. I'm gonna tell you for a fact, David would ignore most of his male audience, his male fans. Even me, I had a good relationship with him. He ignored the shit out of me. He ignored the shit out of me to the point that he unfollowed me. But you know, when it came to like a 15-year-old, 14-year-old girl, underage girl, no, he would give him his number. He would give him his number. I have evidence for 2023. I have pictures, I have screenshots, I have everything from 2023. It's all gonna come to light soon.
Even a teacher of Celeste.
Fam. Okay, maybe I'm talking from a standpoint that I don't know what I'm talking about, but like at the end of the day, it's like, if you had all this evidence, why wait? Why wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
divulged that he heard rumors about what was really going down.
Hold up. That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
How long ago?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
And while this is all well and good, it won't be much to comfort the family of Celeste, with her brother Matthew.
Well, I'm not trying to justify anything. All I'm saying is that, like, I don't think this is a social media issue. This is more like a. I'm not trying to blame the victim either. Please don't take my words out of context. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know the full story, but like I do know one thing. It's like stranger danger, right? A cliche, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's life. You know what I'm saying? Also, like, you teach your daughters to not be around older dudes, not talk to older dudes. Simple stuff like that. The dynamics of their relationship could have been, you know, simply fan to artist, and then it became something else. At the end of the day, like, that's like, young women should still know that. Does that justify everything else that happened? Of course not. Young men should also know not to fucking do weird ass shit like this. Like, maybe talk to someone in your own age group. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad rule to just date someone your same age. And when you're young, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You date someone your own age. Simple. Like, what the fuck, bro? And now he ended up, like, this girl died so young. Like, for what, bro? Like, why?
Dropping receipts and claiming they intended to get married. This corresponds with shots from her IG stories where she appeared to be flexing an engagement.
Yeah, this dude is such a fucking clown.
Ring. With that, most people have everything they need to declare him a monster. And that's before even mentioning a possible second victim named Gus, who is allegedly dead. As the news of David's alleged heinous acts circulate, the industry is churning on him. And voices like academics are even suggesting that other big names might have similar skeletons in the closet.
Yo, I know 3 rappers that y'all love. Like, y'all would kill, well, but like, y'all would be in turmoil if I told y'all, we're about to talk about this David guy. He was f***ing a girl who was like 14 or 15. I know like 3 Chicago rappers y'all might consider legends. I was doing the same. It wasn't for me to talk about because nobody went to the police. I don't know if these people were true. I don't know the story, if they lied about their age. It's not for me.
This was echoed by his friend 6ix9ine, a man who has offender charges of his own, no less. Claimed that one infamous meme-turned-rapper was passed around the industry.
At this point, you guys start going back and forth. You accused him of having with Bad Baby, who was a winner at the time.
Everybody, listen, apart Trippie Redd, there you go telling the truth again, there you go Stitch. All these rappers Bad Baby while she was on the...
Yo, snitching is such a stupid thing to be mad at someone about, especially if you're not part of that lifestyle. It's like, I'm not no hood dude. I'm not going to pretend to be. If I see you committing crime, I'm snitching, bro. He did it. It was this motherfucker right here. This motherfucker right here. Here's what I'm not going to do is be part of that lifestyle, and then encourage someone who's close to me to do something that they barely want to do, and then commit a crime with them and then start pointing fingers. You know what I'm saying? Just to, like, get myself free from jail. That's what I'm not going to do. At the end of the day, people do retaliate in situations like this. But at the end of the day, it's like, if the world is better without a person in it, then take them away from society. You know what I'm saying? Like, put them in jail. Like this whole, oh, I don't want to say, like, bro, it's just enabling. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make the situation any better. It makes it worse, actually.
Age, come on. Next thing, she knows that they know it, but you know what? No, we like them. They can kids. They can kids. Just don't say, bro, chill. Bro, why you always got to open your mouth, bro?
But the real question is, if these things are such open secrets, why are people tolerating it?
But think about it. It's like, if you're mad at someone for snitching on a pedophile, then that just tells me what kind of person you are. A pedophile.
Because if they didn't, maybe tragedies like this could be avoided, and dangerous people wouldn't be given the chance to exploit vulnerable children. Because no matter what anyone who's defending him says, that's what Celeste was, a child. But what's even more bizarre is that in the wake of the news that he was apparently in a relationship with a literal child, his track has become the biggest gainer in the world on Spotify. Ultimately, the cops haven't made any arrests or officially listed any suspects at the time, but it seems like the internet has already condemned him long before he sees a courtroom. Quick question, why is the dude who 100% underage victim not under arrest? At this moment, David's whole world is crumbling around him, and if everything that's being said is true, it'd be difficult to feel a shred of empathy for him. Whatever happens, it appears that his time in the limelight, or being known for anything other than his alleged actions, is over. And that must sting for someone who had plans to make a fortune and then evade the public eye entirely.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying? Why are you saying that like you're not like up there, gang?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I go on crazy year after year for the next 3 years, and then on the 4th year I retire. And on the 5th year I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love to be on a fucking island. Fucking weirdo.
Social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely
of the
not.
Granted, he might still be doing so, but finding himself in a jail cell rather than the life of luxury that he'd envisioned for himself. Damn. Rest in peace, Celeste.
And he's still free. Why?
Now updates keep pouring in about the David story, spelled D4VD, and so far we've learned that Celeste Rivas, a teenage girl, was found in the front trunk of an impounded Tesla registered to him. Within 48 hours, LAPD searched the Hollywood Hills home David was staying at and seized multiple devices. And now the internet's been asking a lot of questions, but the biggest one is, why hasn't David been arrested yet? And why is this process taking so long? I'm locked into finding out.
Like the internet is like doing more. Like, why, dude? Like, this is like low-key kind of heartbreaking, because like, I swear, like, I don't want to talk too much about politics, but like, look who's running the country right now, and look at the allegations, and look at the shit that keeps sliding.
The truth about this case, and I'll be keeping you updated every step of the way. So let's break this one down together. By now, you've probably seen the headlines. Celeste Rivas, a teenage girl, was identified after her remains were found in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to popular singer David. The car had been towed to a Hollywood impound, and that's when
front. Oh my god! I don't know if you guys seen the front. I don't know if you guys seen the front of a Tesla, but it's actually not that big in storage wise. So that means that she was cut up enough to fit in there.
Staff noticed a foul odor, opened the front trunk, and made the discovery. Since then, detectives executed a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where he'd been staying at and seized electronics. Popular brands who partner with David, like Hollister, for campaigns, pulled back, and his world tour was also put on pause. And famous celebrities like Canadian singer Tay McRae distanced herself, along with singer Kali Uchis. So let's get into it. Why hasn't David been arrested yet? And what's actually happening behind the scenes? Let me walk you through this step by step. Here's what we know so far. According to the authorities, the Tesla was registered to David Burke, which is David's real name. The body inside was severely decomposed to the point where it's been difficult for the medical examiners to determine exactly what happened or how she died. Police also stated that the body had been in that Tesla for an extended period of time, though they did not specify exactly how long. In connection with this, we also know that the Tesla was towed to Hollywood Tow after it was reported.
Like, imagine being his mom. You raising a kid all these years, all these nights, baby crying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you changing diapers, and then you see the kid take the first steps, and then you teach him how to talk. You do all this for your kid just for him to grow up to be a fucking pedophile, rapist, murderer. Like, that would break my fucking heart. It's like, bro, I just made the world a worse place. Like, God bless his mom, but like, holy fuck, bro. Like, that's what would be going through my mind right now. It's like, damn, bro. Like, I didn't raise him to be like this. Why?
Abandoned. According to NBC Los Angeles, neighbors said the car had been parked there for more than a month before it was finally taken away. That explains why the smell was so overwhelming. When a body decomposes in a closed space like a car, gases build up and the odor is impossible to ignore. Believe it or not, that's actually one of the most common ways police discover remains in cases like this. We also know that Celeste Rivas was 14 at the time of her death. She would have turned 15 on September 7, 2025, but her body...
I can't imagine. I'm 25, and I can't imagine dying right before 15. I just can't imagine it. Like, my life didn't even fucking start. Like just think about it. Like, that's like being born and then gone in a blink. Like, that's so fucking tragic, man.
Was found September 8. That means that it was confirmed she died at 14, not 15. And just to clear something up, early on, the medical examiner's office listed her as 15, and that's what I was going off of in my initial coverage. In reality, that detail was off, so my apologies for repeating it before the correction came out. And shout out to everyone who caught that and corrected me. We keep each other accountable on here, and that's how it should be. Now, the medical examiner office also confirmed how she was found. Celeste was wearing a tube top and small black leggings. She was described as having wavy black hair with a metal stud earring and a yellow metal chain bracelet. Something else I want to share with you is this. Even though the cause of death hasn't been released or determined yet because of the condition of the remains.
And think about it, even if he didn't kill her and then they ended up having a relationship, she would have eventually grown up one day and been like, damn, like, and she would have thought about his age and would have been like, this fucking creepy ass dude preyed on my younger self. Like, and I'm saying, like, I don't even know the full dynamics of everything, or like they even had a relationship or anything, or what the fuck, dude. Or maybe she was calling him out and that's what pissed him off. Maybe that was the motive. I don't know. Or maybe people were noticing. No, I think I think it's because she got pregnant. I'm not sure though.
One outlet, the Los Angeles Times, has reported that the authorities are treating it as a homicide. Now, to be clear, investigators still don't know who's responsible, but that's exactly what they're looking to uncover right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anybody who holds a fucking mic like a retard.
Investigators
like that.
still don't know who's responsible.
Why are you holding it like that? Bro's dumb.
Responsible, but that's exactly what they're looking to uncover right now, and those answers will come out as the case develops. And now let's get to the actual investigation and why David hasn't been arrested yet. Within hours of Celeste being identified, LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division served a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where David had been staying. The home located at an upscale neighborhood on Doheny Drive, just north of Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles. And David actually doesn't own the property, but sources say detectives went in and walked out with computers and electronics. This was the first major sign that the police are actively digging into his world. So right now, there's obviously a connection between David and Celeste. Her mother, of course, confirmed she had a boyfriend named David, and people have pointed out things like the matching tattoos, and there's, of course, a bunch of photos of them together online that have surfaced, along with a live stream clip. But here's the reality. Investigators are still trying to figure out just how deep that connection goes, and that's the part we don't know yet. On one hand, the Tesla was in fact registered to David, and her body was discovered inside. On the other hand, police sources...
That motherfucker's guilty. That motherfucker's guilty. That motherfucker's guilty. That motherfucker's guilty. He's guilty.
Have said it's one of several vehicles linked to David, and that multiple people had access to those cars at different times. If you don't understand what that means, basically most celebrities don't just, drive their own cars every single day.
Okay, but yeah, that's fine, but still involved, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you hear the song lyrics, and it's like, I'm sorry, like, dude, nah.
Be used by friends, family, staff, managers, drivers, or borrowed for errands. So just because the car, the Tesla, was in David's name, doesn't automatically prove that he was the one behind the wheel or the one who put Celeste there. And that's where caution comes in, because detectives can't just rely on paperwork. They need hard proof. It's not enough to point to the registration. They need forensic evidence and a clear timeline that ties a specific person to that trunk. Without that, an arrest could fall apart in court. And that leads us to where the case stands right now. At the stage, police are retracing Celeste's final days and digging through the devices they seized, because whatever is on those electronics could lay the foundation for where to look next. They're also patiently waiting on forensics to close the gaps, and that's what explains the silence. In order to build a case that holds up in court, every single detail has to line up. So what exactly are investigators zeroing in on? Two critical questions. Number one, the timeline of events. They need to figure out exactly when Celeste died. As of now, they only know it was an extended period of time before discovery, but the precise time of death has not been pinned down yet.
But he should, okay, if they can't prove that he killed her, he should still be arrested for, like, pedophilia. Like, I feel like that's, like, hello, like, we have enough evidence right now to prove that.
Yeah. Number two, they're trying to establish when her body was placed in the trunk and by whom. That detail alone could make or break the case. And this is what complicates everything. Detectives don't know yet when the exact moment Celeste died was, or the exact moment her body ended up in that Tesla. Until those blanks are filled in, no arrest can stick. So social media has been reacting to the fact that David hasn't been arrested yet. And yeah, there's been a lot of outrage. Some people are even saying that there must be some type of favoritism going on. Like, is he paying somebody off, you know, to still be out on the streets? But that's not really what's happening. According to the law, he is innocent until proven guilty, okay? And as of right now, we do know that he's been cooperating with the police. Now, that doesn't automatically clear him, because even guilty people can cooperate, but it does help us.
Actually, it's a higher chance that usually guilty people end up cooperating more often and involving themselves in an investigation.
Case if it turns out he wasn't involved in what happened to Celeste. Here's the bigger picture. Everything right now comes down to the medical examiner. Once the medical examiner officially rules this as a homicide and determines how Celeste died, then law enforcement can move forward with charges against whoever is responsible. Until then, it's very difficult for police to move on anyone, because the case wouldn't hold up in court. And David is of course connected to all this in some way, because Celeste was found in a Tesla registered to him. That's the fact tying him into the investigation, but how deep that connection really goes is exactly what detectives are still working to figure out. And that's why this case feels like it's been moving slower than everyone expects. Since we're in the thick of it and everybody knows about it, everything has to be airtight here. But while the medical examiner's office does its work, the LAPD is currently going through the electronics they seized, so iPhones and MacBooks, because the digital trace can establish a timeline, location, communications, and access, and that's the stuff that either confirms or kills a theory. So as of now, all we have to do is just watch how the investigation unfolds. I trust that law enforcement is they're gonna do their thing, right? The medical examiner's ruling, the forensic evidence from those devices, and the timeline detectives are piecing together right now, those are the keys that'll decide whether David walks free or whether this turns into the biggest case of his entire life. And until those pieces lock into place, he's legally still an innocent man, of course. But none of this stuff changes the heartbreaking fact a 14-year-old girl lost her life and her body was left in the trunk of a car. I'm deeply invested in finding out what happened to Celeste, and I'm sure you are. But more importantly, who carried out this evil act against this little girl. Whoever that person is, they deserve to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. So let's make sure we keep our focus in the right place on getting justice for Celeste and not letting the noise distract us from that. If you made it to the end, drop a like, and like I promised, I got you with every update on this David story. Just stick with me, guys, and you'll find out what exactly is happening. You'll have all the factual stuff, okay? All the factual stuff from me. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, drop a like on this video, and hope you guys have a good Sunday. Take care of yourself and get ready for next week, okay? All right, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, no. He motherfucking did that shit.
Hello, my name is David.
Like, he definitely did that shit. Like, dude. How is, like, bro not, like, at least, like, not, maybe I don't know what's going on, but, like, bro hasn't even been, like, he hasn't even been talked to. Wait, no, he said he's cooperating. But like, I don't know. I feel like bro should be like in holding cell. I feel like bro's a flight risk.
Pronounced David, not D4VD. I'm from Queens, New York. I'm in Houston now. I am a gamer. I love video games. I wanted to be a professional gamer before music. That's actually what pushed me into music, was getting copyright strikes on YouTube. And I kind of just used my own music in my montages after my mom told me to. 'Cause I was crying to her about it. And now we're here. So how I created Romantic Homicide is basically like every other song. In my sister's closet with the Apple earbuds and an app called BandLab on my phone, just going through instrumentals and letting them tell me what needs to be said on them, and basically just going from there. And then I write to contextualize the stories that I tell. I'm scared. It feels like you don't care. Enlighten me, my dear. Why am I still here? I don't mean to be complacent with the decisions you made, but why? So Enlighten Me, My Dear is my favorite line because you can take so many different meanings out of it, and it's an emotion in itself. Everything has a meaning behind it. I think that's what poetry is. It's like an interpretation, and another person can read the same thing and take something else out of it and find new things.
It's crazy because like just watching this dude, like I don't think bro was capable of doing of any of the things that he did. But like, damn, bro, like that's crazy. You just can't judge a book by its cover. This motherfucker does not look like a threat at all.
Things every time. So I think that's an important part of my process, is definitely the poetry aspect of it. And all of my songs, I think, are poetry. I started writing as long as I can remember, but like seeing graphic novels and Japanese manga and like taking those stories and being like, imagine if this rhymed. In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. And I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't.
She kind of sounds like a lamb.
Won't even arrive.
Have you tried dating someone your own age?
So what inspired the hook, In the Back of My Mind You Died, is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically.
No, she died, well, in the front of your Tesla.
In the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I've seen people online take different meanings and interpretations from that one part of the song where it's like it's their past selves that's dying. And they're not even crying about it because they're evolved or become better people or have killed addictions and other different stuff like that. So I think it's very powerful in that way too. In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hate you. I wanted you to feel the emotion in this part of the song, not just to repeat the hook, but to say it in a different manner with the same feeling that the first part of it conveyed, which was in the back of my mind, but then you think that I'm gonna say you died, but I say I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did, it was something that I decided. Was something that she did, it was something that I decided by itself, was something that she did, it was.
Wait, hold on.
The thought of her is gone by itself.
Her?
Something that she did, it was something that I decided to do. And I killed her in the back of my mind. It was really more of a figurative.
Did this motherfucker just confess?
I killed you, especially in the back of my mind. I try to stress that in the back of my mind. So I say it so loud. In the back of my mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all.
What was that little?
In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all in the mind because that's. So I say it so loud. In the back of my mind. In the back of my mind. That's why I say it so loud. In the back of my
You sound a little nervous.
mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all in the mind, because that's the most secure place you can be, is in your mind. So if you can expel that thought from your mind, then everything else will just come together. Puzzle pieces will just align. What inspires me, I think everyday life, a little bit of everything, stories, movies, moving cars, people. I think I'm a people watcher, so I can pick up on emotions. I think everything, life.
He's a people watcher.
Inspires me.
Oh boy. Oh my God. That is so fucking awful. That is so awful.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's obviously time to talk about David. David Anthony Burke, or David stylized as D4VD, is a young singer, producer, and songwriter who has been on the come up for several years now. And in fact, he just dropped his debut full-length LP back in April, and he was actually just on tour behind that album. But now that tour is seemingly over, because about a week ago now, we saw the first thread pop up of what has been one of the most insane music industry stories unraveling ever. Because again, while this man was moving from tour date to tour date to tour date, a dead body was discovered in an impounded Tesla registered in his name. Even though this is obviously very shocking information, initially, David wasn't getting a whole lot of blame or allegations thrown his way. In fact, his tour was just kind of continuing. After all, this car had been impounded and obviously was out of...
Can you imagine that? It's like, hey bro, we think we found a dead body in your Tesla. Cool story, bro. In the back of my mind. Like, get this man off stage, dog.
David's possession. Presumably this was all just some kind of like insane coincidence. David, as a successful music industry recording artist, would have been just like too busy and engrossed in his own career to actually have anything to do with, right? Like, there's no possible way this could be some kind of insane murder cover-up and David would have some kind of personal connection to this situation or person. But then, upon the discovery of this body, we began to get more information that raised some very huge red flags and concerns. Like, the body that was discovered in this Tesla was that of a teen girl. Authorities described the remains as having been dismembered or mutilated in some fashion. There are also allegations of a matching finger tattoo of some sort, and apparently the body has been ID'd as one Celeste Rivas.
Okay, if he didn't do it, someone close to him with access to the car did it. To frame him. Either way, bro's a pedophile and is linked around weird people. You know what I'm saying? And birds of a feather flock together, so this motherfucker is weird. And I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't be ignored at all. But it's like, why frame him? You know what I'm saying? Like, this just is like, I don't know. I feel like it's just very obvious.
Hernandez, someone who there has been a missing persons report out on since April of last year.
Like, where
now,
the fuck?
There are a lot of headlines saying how, you know, oh, this is a 15-year-old girl who was missing, but there's like some confusion around the age discussion on this topic, because it's important to remember that Celeste was 13 in 2024 when she had gone missing. And yes, while there are headlines and articles talking about how she was 15, given the state of decomposition her body was in upon discovery, she most likely died when she was 14. Now, it's off of these small bits of information and Celeste's ID that the internet began to start doing some sleuthing around David, and very quickly found that David and Celeste actually had quite a history together, a lot of which has been pieced together through a series of old TikToks, Discord messages, Instagram posts, and stories. But maybe the most damning piece of evidence to have resurfaced in the midst of all of this controversy is an old Twitch clip that we will play to you now, where David appears alongside a girl that seems to be Celeste.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything.
I mean, not only does this person look just like the girl in these missing person photos, the chat on this stream seems to be aware of not only their dynamic cracking some Epstein jokes as well, but just before the clip ends, someone in chat seems to be clearly aware that this person's name is Celeste. I mean, even without factoring in that we're possibly watching David here interacting with a girl who is now dead on camera in this clip, this situation is so strange, because what is somebody who is of David's position, a successful legal adult music industry recording artist, doing streaming late night with a girl who is clearly not even a high school graduate, who must be in his care to some degree, having to end a stream with her abruptly.
Yo, his mustache looks so fucking weird, dude.
Saying this footage needs to be deleted after she makes an edgy joke, and saying, I media trained you. It boggles the mind, and it just makes you wonder, like, where are the adults? Where are the trustworthy authority figures? I mean, it's very telling that we're in a time where TMZ is posting clips of somebody who is allegedly this girl's former teacher talking to his students about how this girl he used to teach her, and she met this rapper over social media.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. When I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
I mean, obviously he's trying to sort of like scare them straight about, you know, apparently who may be able to reach them or persuade them of whatever over Instagram or whatever, you know, channel they're being contacted through by somebody who might be in David's position, someone older, someone with money, someone with influence. But I mean, just think of how many people had to drop the fucking ball in order for it to get to this point. But yeah, it's very strange and it's very concerning, because it does seem like, looking at a lot of different posts and stuff that has come up in retrospect, that this was, at least on some level, like a bit of an open secret among the most devoted segments of David's fan base. And yet this was not being called out effectively to a point where something was actually being done about it. And again, I stress, to a point where something was actually being done about it. And again, I stress, David was not like some crazy, obscure, completely underground figure that like nobody had ever heard of. Like, this guy had a very large and respectable social media following, had done some pretty big interviews with traditional media and sort of new media and podcast media. I mean, I admit, as somebody who regularly covers music, I myself was not aware of this either, but also I've never formally reviewed David's stuff and never dug into him, because personally I just don't find his music that interesting. However, there were clearly a lot of people out there who did, and the fact that this was just going over the heads of so many, or just not registering to a lot of people as a sign of something bad, is just strange, especially given that in the wake of Celeste being ID'd, fans have not been having a hard time finding a bunch of different context clues, be it in some of David's biggest songs like Romantic Homicide, a track that when you look on YouTube was apparently released on Celeste's birthday. There's also been a
Yeah, I feel
leaked
like this is just
Celeste
too
song with some pretty disturbing lyrics laced into it as well. And these things are concerning enough and honestly are just the tip of the iceberg in terms of like the various connections people have been making.
What was that other song that you showed me? Yeah, what was the other one? Celeste. Oh, it's unreleased. But when you hold me, when you cry. Feel suicidal. These are the kind of thoughts that cross my mind just because I love you so much. That's a weird thing to say to someone you love. That's the one I was talking about this. I literally said that maybe he gets her high so he can, you know, but it's like, but you only open up when you get high. But the one part of the song says, if I had the money, I would buy his time. But then in the same song, he says, I love it when you hold me, when you cry. Be my Valentine, I want to make you feel suicidal. Do you want to be with her or not? Like, brother, make up your mind. Romantic Homicide, you could separate it, but this one is just like he's saying her name. Like, no, bro. And even then, it's like listening to Teenage Fever, you know, by Drake. It's like maybe not a good song. And then there's I seen right here that she's pregnant or something like that. It's just goddamn awful, bro. Like, this can't be real. This cannot be real.
This video currently at this moment, David seemingly has not been arrested. The biggest repercussions that he's seen as a result of all of this is that, you know, his tour is just like done. And authorities have affirmed that there is an investigation going on right now into all of this, but what direction that's going in at the moment is kind of unclear.
A lot of people are going to be asking the very obvious question of why hasn't David been brought in at least for questioning? Law enforcement doesn't have the answers they want in order to be able to confront or question David, especially without an autopsy report as to the cause and manner of death.
And on top of all of this, another majorly concerning element to this story is the way that the internet has been handling it. I mean, sure, while fans and concerned citizens have dug up a lot of super valid and important information related to this case, also a lot of the discourse happening around this issue right now is being painted by clout chasers, by people throwing out insane conspiracy theories, people defending David or totally making up false information, and everyone collectively joining into the narrative in this story is like pretending they're a true crime podcast host.
Okay. The real reason David wanted Celeste.
An evil version of myself that will kind of come out at random moments. I'd be like solving murder that I'm committing myself.
This man is not well.
I am fully clocked into this David situation, and like a lot of you guys in the comments, I believe that he did it. But it leads us to ask why? Why would he go and unalive this possibly 13 or 14-year-old girl, Celeste, who he was in a relationship with? Unless he had something to hide. And I think it was more than just hiding the relationship, because...
But even then, it's like... Obviously, I'm gonna let this person finish, but it's like... Bro was just trying to kill, like, no matter what. He even says it that, like... He said it. He's like, I hate you. I was like... He's just a creepy weirdo.
He got comfortable hiding that relationship. I think that there's a possibility that she was pregnant. And there's a lot of people talking about this on social media, so I wanted to explain to you guys how they've gotten to this conclusion, and we're gonna go through some metadata that's from Discord and things like that.
Okay, Afterlife, I gotta hear this. Yeah, let's watch the alert. It goes crazy. Holy shit. I mean, Yo, the you know what's crazy? Like the music, the vocals are good, the beat is good, his delivery is great, but like the writing just sounds like it was written by like an evil ChatGPT. Like it actually sounds like ChatGPT wrote it. I don't know, man. It just seems like he's trying to say something. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like he's trying to like say it without indirectly saying it. Then again, the romantic homicide one, he literally said, "I killed you and I don't regret it." So I don't know how more direct this motherfucker can get, but like, yeah.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, this motherfucker needs to be like erased from.
You that there are messages from David's own Discord admitting that he was in a relationship with her and she was pregnant. We're gonna get to that, but there's a lot I want to talk to you guys about in this video. First off, I want to mention David's alter ego, Tommy. Supposedly, this alter ego comes out of him and commits these murders and horrible things. And I don't know where he came up with this or what a Tommy is, but it kind of feels like a Tommy would be the one who's responsible for this crime. So he's talking about this bizarre situation where his alter ego comes out, commits crimes, and then he himself has to work as a detective to solve them. Now, I wonder if this freaky fantasy that he's created has become a real life thing, and that's like what he did to Celeste.
An evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself.
There's an interview I found where David speaks about his desire to retire and live off the grid on an island with no social media within 3 to 4 years. Well, that's weird because he just got started in his career, so why would you want to go and leave so soon? But the time range is when Celeste would turn 18, and I don't know why you'd want to go and escape with her or possibly without her.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying? Why are you saying that like you're not like up there, gang?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I'm going crazy year after year for the next 3 years, and then on the 4th year I retire. And on the 5th year I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib, no social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every.
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely not.
It sounds like he wants to live like Jeffrey Epstein, right? Like, did anyone else just immediately think about that?
Yeah.
When he said this
Very
island,
poor
this
choice of words.
mansion, probably some really disturbing things going on. But I want to talk to you guys about the pregnancy. Now, I actually do use Discord. It's something I got into this year. I've got a few different servers I follow, like professional ones, you know, where they help me figure out like how to use.
Bruh, he didn't do this shit alone. Let's watch this video because like I kept seeing little clips from this video, and the fact that he might have not did alone is crazy. Like this is so fucking disgusting. Yo, what was the video? I'm gonna have to do some research on that because I could have sworn that this would have been the one. But anyways, what the fuck? His music slaps, but this motherfucker needs to be in prison. Yeah, this motherfucker is too telling. Situation is too weird for it not to be true. And you got her pregnant, brother. What the fuck? God damn, bro. This is why you can't be idolizing these motherfuckers just because they make great art. Obviously, people who make great art are obviously got to be twisted in their heads some way or another. I'm not saying that every artist who makes something that is amazing isn't automatic off rip a killer, but damn, bro. You just don't know these motherfuckers. And even the motherfuckers that you do know, you don't know the capabilities of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe. Stay away from fucking weirdos. Trust your gut. Follow your gut instincts. You know what I'm saying? Like, background check everything. Question everything. Teach your kids. teach your daughter, teach your son to be better, to teach your daughters to stay safe and stay away from fucking weirdos like this. Love your daughters so they don't have to be around weirdos like this. Like, love your son, you know what I'm saying? Like, pick up on signs. If this guy, like, if you know that you're starting to see signs that your kid is messed up in his head, maybe, like, don't run all the way to religion. Maybe run to, like, professional help and counseling and stuff like that, because ignoring and enabling behaviors just makes the situation worse. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like
breaking news in
like-
the David case. It looks like David might have had accomplices. Why? Because a lot of interesting things have been uncovered in an investigative report. One of them is they interviewed the owner of the $20,000 a month house that David and his manager were renting, okay? And it seems that the owner is saying that nothing could have happened in the house without it being recorded. There were cameras outside. There was cameras in the entrance. There were security cameras everywhere. Not only that, it's a
so FBI, do your job.
very, very safe street and security cameras everywhere, okay? What does that mean? We'll get into the article in a second, but that means that whoever put Celeste in the trunk of a Tesla registered to David.
Is she tweaking? Holy shit, what is happening?
There is, because they said that Tesla was always parked.
Either this girl is very nervous or she's like tripping off Molly. Like, what the fuck?
In the street. There is video of that person getting in the car, taking the car away, bringing the car back. There might even be video of Celeste leaving the house and maybe never coming back.
Another thing too is, like, Teslas, they can be controlled, like, away from the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like remote and stuff like that. Not by far, but it's still an option.
Might be video of Celeste getting in the car with David's Tesla, going away and never coming back.
Fuck out of me.
The police have this information.
I thought that was game over.
On top of that, there is now pictures circulating of a woman at David's show that looks like she might be Celeste. I'm looking at the pictures right here. I actually think...
Not the fucking creepy TikTok audio in the background.
Because David is chronically online. They just found him playing Fortnite the other day, chilling like nothing was going on, while he was abruptly fleeing his house, having movers come in and packing up all his stuff, right? It's almost like he knows his career's over. It's almost like he knows he better start conserving money. But hear me out. I talk about this in another video, and we're going to talk about the security cameras and why it looks like David might have an accomplice, and why the accomplice actually might be his manager who lived with them in the house. It's pretty much been from the internet detectives that...
See, I'm not saying that's right, but that would make sense because, like, you got to protect the money. I'm saying your boss goes to jail, you're getting a good paycheck. I'm not saying it's right, but that's a motive.
Celeste was always with David, okay? They were always together. She ran away. The police found her in the Hollywood Hills and brought her back, right?
Okay. Minor is missing, found with him, not arrested. Why?
Whole school knew that her boyfriend's name was David because after she ran away when she was 13.
The whole school knew about it.
And 14, because she ran away a few times. It was a trouble home. Okay, yeah, that's what predators look for. Okay, but still, let's focus on the predator. But the whole point is, okay, when she ran away and she got bought back, she was in the Hollywood Hills. She lived in the Hollywood Hills with David. There's lots of security cameras everywhere. This can be easily confirmed, okay? I do believe security cameras usually keep 90 days on repeat. Now, there is a chance that the 90 days on repeat, if she was blinked sometime last year, it would be her. But people are saying that these are very, very good security cameras, and they actually keep things for 6 to 8 months. If they're reviewing the security cameras and they do not see a Celeste going and coming from David's house, Well, that says something too. In any case, Celeste kept in touch with all the kids from school, so they all knew that she was living in the Hollywood Hills. It was the worst kept secret in the middle school that this child actually appeared in. So just hear me out, okay? The police said that she's been badly decomposed. The police said that she was boom, 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 right?
Like, it's so crazy. Like, you got MILFs, you got girls your own age, right? You have grannies if you're into that. You have a strip club. Or maybe even escorts. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it's like you have all these options before a kid. Or even other dudes. Right? Because I'm pretty sure that one song, he's like, I thought a girl would make me happy. He's like, listen, why a child, bro? Why?
Because they searched the house for blood and they didn't find any, it lets me know that this happened off site, which means that Celeste would have had to leave the house, and that would be caught on security cameras, or Celeste got into the car. Now, who has access to the car? Again, I keep saying it. It's a Tesla. You need a special code to get into the front trunk. You just don't, like, just somebody using your car can't just pop the front trunk, because that's
they would need access to like the app on your phone, which he can easily give that to someone. So obviously it was either him or somebody close or both.
The engine, generator, whatever it is in the front. All right, who would have had that? Well, probably David's manager, because he lived there. The car was in David's name, but his manager used that car all the time. His manager lived in the house with David. His manager lived in the house with Celeste. It makes me wonder with his manager, what did you see? What did you hear? What did you help with? What do you know? Because regardless of what you want to say the relationship was between David and Celeste, there was some relationship. What did you hear and what did you think when you saw a 13-year-old with Hello Kitty Crocs chilling, watching TV? What did you say when David was spending all his special time with a 13-year-old wearing Hello Kitty sweatshirts? Again, this man lived with David. He saw a lot. He kept many secrets. Even if she had never gone missing, the fact that you were so comfortable seeing somebody in Hello Kitty Crocs just literally around your house all the time, the fact that you're a manager and you encourage them and help them go live streaming with someone's literal child. Again, police are thinking that there might be an accomplice, because if David didn't do it himself, somebody may have helped him, either in moving, dismember, or even helping them dispose of the body. Again, he's yet to explain how she got in the front trunk of his Tesla and that the car was parked in front. Now, there are theories that say, which it might be a good one, that it could have been that nobody knew except for David knew about what was in the front trunk, knew about Celeste. And David went off on tour and he left that in the trunk. Again, it seems very stupid. People are saying it could have been because he used to let people, his manager who went on tour with him, but maybe friends or family used the house, and there was something in the car that was stinking up the garage. So they parked the car on the street instead of in the garage. And that house is a $4.1 million house. It's $20,000 a month rental. I'm pretty sure that they had ample 2, 3, 4,
Yo,
5.
$20,000 a month rental? At that point, just buy a fucking house. Holy fuck.
5, 6 car garage, okay? It could have been stinking up the place so bad that they actually took the Tesla and parked it on the street just to get away from it. And maybe they couldn't get to the trunk of what's going on. Residents said that when they were walking their dogs, the dogs were sniffing around the trunk, and they said it was just something bad. That's why they called it the impound lot, because the smell was just something so yucky. And they went to And the impound lot, as you know, because the smell got worse and worse and worse, it was in the impound lot for 6 days. The police finally were called to take a look at it. Again, just one theory going around. However, I am still looking at his manager. How did you live in the house with this person and you never saw Celeste and you don't know what's going on? And if you saw Celeste, when that little girl went missing, you never said anything? You never did anything?
Yeah,
There was
no.
only one car, which was the Tesla. It looks like you guys shared the car. Anyway, one of the breakthroughs is that the house has external security cameras. You can't enter or exit undetected. The only question is, how far do these security cameras go, and was footage overwritten? Again, this goes into why David might have held on to her for, if he did, again, this is all alleged in my theories, if he had held on to her for so long, it could have been because he was waiting for the security footage to rewrite itself. Again, most security footage holds 3 months. Some hold 6 months of footage. I don't think much security footage holds over a year. However, there are other security cameras in the neighborhood. Maybe they pay for the deluxe package where you can actually see a year. This might be why he actually held on to her so long, hoping the security camera would overwrite something. And by so long, I mean to the fact of, if he did this off-site, right? You waited until all the security footage overwrote, and then maybe a year later, bring wherever you had the parts, put them in the car, and you were planning to do something with the car, but then, I don't know. The part about the car and the smelling, that's very, very odd. But just the way David responded, where he didn't say, oh my God, thoughts and prayers. He didn't even act shocked to find out that there was a girl that everybody said, she said you were dating, according to her friends. Everybody thinks you're dating. At the very least, you guys are super, super tight. And you know this little girl since what, 10 or 11 years old, when you met her on the Fortnite channel. And you show no shock, no awe. You just go about your tour, which by the way.
That's another thing too. It's like, it's like a double-edged sword, right? So like, if you're in that situation, the best thing, if you're actually innocent, the best thing to do is to not say anything, because you know you could be like, you could say something that's incriminating, right? And like put yourself in a position, in a fucked up position, if you're actually innocent. Now, if you're guilty, it's the same shit too. It's like obviously someone who's guilty and wants to get away with it, their best interest for what they want would be to not say anything, because they could say something that's self-incriminating, or they could use that as evidence, right? At the end of the day, anybody else in that situation would be furious, like absolutely the fuck not. I did not fucking do that shit. Like, if it was me, I'd be like, bro, I do not know. Like, this looks bad. Like, this look, especially like knowing the type of songs that he created. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, this looks so bad. Like, I made these types of songs. I was hanging around these types of people, and then this type of shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like this all could have been avoided. It's like, why are you talking to minors, bro? Why are you hanging around minors? Like, and I get it, art is just art and stuff like that, but I just feel like due to the situation, like the given situation, it's like, it's very telling.
You're dragging a casket everywhere you go. It's looking, but again, this leads me into my theory that these new pictures surfacing that Celeste was at a show in August 2025, maybe, but if you look closely at these pics of the girl in the show, I don't believe it for 1 second. Because when you look at this girl, this woman, she has like hips. She has hips. It looks like she has hips. She has curves. I'm not saying she's a Fashion Nova baddie, but she definitely has curves. And if she has curves, Celeste didn't. Why? Because she was a little girl and she hadn't even gotten, I don't even think she went to, like, she was literally like as skinny 10, 11, 12. Like we all were skinny at 10, 11, 12. She hadn't even developed.
Some of
So
us.
I find it odd that at an 11-year-old, when we see the pictures, she looks like just an unassuming little girl. And to have this up here, now you have to ask, who would release this information? Well, maybe it's David. He is online. He was moderating his Reddit thread for discourse before people called him out on everything. But it definitely looks like this girl, is. Now, here's the thing also. Let's not forget, in some of David's videos, he had a lookalike Celeste in that video. This might be the lookalike. And again, if you think that somebody actually is on some criminal mastermind stuff, or he thinks he's smarter than everyone, if everybody knows you're with them and you know that they're missing, and you're super famous, so you have access to all types of girls. It could just be that that's your type and that's what you're into, or it could be that you purposely got another girl that looked like her to kind of stand in the background so people would think, oh, that must be the same girl. Like we're actually thinking now. You know, again, I know it sounds crazy, but having somebody in your Tesla with no explanation is actually even crazier to me. More importantly,
and it's not even like they just died like chilling in the Tesla. It's like they probably died somewhere else and then they were cut up and then placed in the frunk. Like this was completely like on purpose. It's not no accident.
Importantly, I will say,
like, this is definitely some premeditated shit.
You know, I will say, hold on, guys. More importantly, I will say that Celeste and this David situation, why haven't the police actually picked him up for even like his inappropriate relationship?
Yeah, I just said it.
And again, going back to David planning, he made songs called Romantic, saying he's obsessed with Celeste, saying he plans to, again, this girl that's standing up in the balcony, she is wearing, you can tell she's wearing makeup. She have a curve to her hip. I think it's just a girl that he decided to put in there. If he had it planned out and he needed. Now, what would be his motives? I mean, it's pretty much been confirmed that somebody that used her Discord address said that she's expecting used David's Discord address, and this is the one that David would make posts on, said that Celeste and him had a baby on the way.
Oh my.
What if you were a sicko and you were in love with a middle schooler and she ran away from her family, all this stuff? You're now getting crazy fame you never thought you would get, okay? Crazy fame, you never thought you would get it. And all of a sudden you realize that the girl you thought you loved, there's a baby on the way. There's proof of what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You have deals with Hollister. You have a limited edition of Crocs coming out. You're literally jamming with Kaluchi, Cat's Eye, Benny Blanco, Billy. Like you have
Kaluchi.
Everybody wants to do a duet with you. You're about to blow up, okay? You decide all of a sudden that this girl that you maybe dragged away from home through manipulation, through abuse. I don't think somebody goes from zero to murking somebody to abuse, that you decided it's a bad look. You've decided that there's bigger and better. And you're telling her, yo, it's not gonna work out. But see, that's the thing. She's not a grown woman. Her brain's not even developed. She's not even half developed. She hasn't even graduated middle school yet. You start acting funny.
God.
You start telling her, I don't want this. You start not coming home at night. How does she react? The way a child will react, because she's a child, okay? And she starts saying, if you do this to me, I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to tell everyone what you did was illegal. I'm going to make sure you pay. And you realize it's not as simple as just leaving her. Maybe you can survive that scandal. But in the age of Diddy, oh, no. Not someone that's not even old enough to go to 9th grade in high school carrying as your child. So maybe it was a case of getting rid of two people.
Yo, she's onto something. She's making a lot of sense right now.
Two issues with one stone. if you will. Again, the autopsy has been completed. There's no word on whether she was, they found out when they did the autopsy whether she was a child. However, the body has been released to the family that lets you know the autopsy was conducted. There is a news report stated the authorities estimated she died 5 days before the body was discovered. I find that hard to believe because badly decomposed in 2 weeks, I don't know. Listen, condolences to the family, but getting back into this whole security footage, that might be why he held it. If it is true that she passed away anytime in the last 90 days, David is done. But where is the footage? What is going on? If there's no footage of Celeste leaving the house,
Tesla should have that footage. If I don't know how that works, I don't know if they can delete it or not, but like Teslas record everything.
or coming back, it leads me to believe that this happened way, way before then. It could have even been to the fact of she was kept in the freezer and then bought back because they thought they were going to dispose, but for some reason they chickened out and just thought they could just leave it in the trunk and just deal with it when they got back. Again,
oh my God.
The owner of the house says that he had a security camera installed outside the home years before David signed a lease. Well, David's manager.
I mean, there could be blind spots too, right?
Signed a lease in February 2024 for $20,000 a month. The cameras are positioned at all entry points in the backyard and on the street, and he believes people cannot go in or out of the house without being recorded. Now, again, were the cameras covered up? What's going on? Those cameras hold a lot of evidence. The police aren't saying anything. But again, I keep saying, in my mind, I have not seen so much evidence since outside of a movie pointing to one person, and they still haven't made a move. Again, he's saying he doesn't have access to security footage. He doesn't want his tenants to think he's spying on them. And when tenants move in, he gives them the info for the security company, and they create their own account to access the companies. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are saying David might have overwritten the footage or deleted the footage. But the funny thing is, security companies always keep two copies. One the person has access to, and one that they have, and that's the one that's rewritten every 90 days. The landlord says the LAPD has not told him anything about the investigation or if the cops obtained security footage, but he doesn't see why the police wouldn't get their hands on the video. They said the police. Let's see, the police were scouring the area where the car was parked looking for a video that would identify the driver and maybe crack the case. He says he has no idea if Celeste was ever at the home. He'd only spoken to David 3 times since renting him the home and didn't know he was living at the property. He says he spoke to his property manager last week and they both agreed it was best to break the lease and that his stuff will be moved out by the end of the week. Again, questions, why isn't David saying anything? I get the fact that his lawyer told him not to speak, but if you're truly innocent and you knew this little girl, even if you guys had broken up a year from now and she ran away from you, why wouldn't you say anything? That's so odd, all right?
I mean, if he said anything for that situation, he'd be admitting guilt. So I'm not saying, I mean, it'd be wonderful if he said something, but I could already see why he wouldn't feel like that's a smart move.
Listen, I don't know. What do y'all think about this? I think a lot of people dropped the ball. I think there was dysfunction in her family. I think the police department, when they reported her missing, actually didn't give a damn. And I think that David is going to be doing the perp walk very, very soon. Again, it's a key element because the security footage, because cops are looking into the possibility that poor Celeste actually met her passing inside the home, and investigators were searching for traces of blood. I think they actually just took her off site, had her body on ice, and then bought it out later, and then I don't know, something got jumbled up. In any case, we are going to be following this from the beginning to the middle to the end. Justice for Celeste Rivas. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
I think that is so fucked up. Like, at first I hear the story, I'm like, all right, damn, they probably got in, and then bro was just walking safe. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I mean, no surprise. Like, the people who are running this country, not the best people. So it's like, it's just no surprise that nothing is getting done. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to sit here and say like, oh yeah, I have a lot of trust in our law enforcement, but nah, I'd be fucking lying. Like nah, like it's crazy because like how are they just
on in the David case, and it's a little bit tragic, okay? One, the body was actually released to the family, but also the police have actually made it known that they are questioning Celeste's family. And all I gotta say is, not the police focusing on the family instead of focusing on what everybody on the internet is calling a predator, and what lots of video proved to be a predator. You guys, let's get into this again.
Well, child neglect. They should all be under you know what I'm saying,
on the family, but not the predator boyfriend. Can y'all listen? Something is a little bit odd in Celeste Riva's family. I'll just say it. The neighborhood where her family lived, and the house she grew up with prior to running away with allegedly David, there was a vigil. The family didn't show, okay? That's odd. The brother said, we know for a fact she was with David. The sister said, no, we don't know where she was, and give a GoFundMe. It is odd. The fact that the mother didn't seem to really report her seriously missing. She was gone for over a year when she was 13, before they reported her missing last year when she was 14. A lot of things don't add up. Again, I would imagine that a 13-year-old being seduced by a predator and running away, I would imagine that people don't usually run away from very, very happy homes. You know, no matter how much everybody tries to fake the funk, there's something going on there, some type of need not being left, as something that a predator saw and exploited. So nobody's claiming she came from like the Cosby Show, but how is the family involved in all the scrutiny when she was found in David's trunk of his Tesla that was parked in front of the $20,000 a month rental that, by the way, he just abruptly fled? How is the family involved where he's making songs called romantic homicide and confessing in songs, I just can't, like, how, like, again, I'm not saying the family wasn't dysfunctional, and I'm not saying the family was toxic, and I could be wrong about this. Maybe the family was the second coming of the Cosby Show, but can you again explain to me what the family...
I feel like two things can be true at once. I feel like this family should get arrested for child neglect, and I feel like the cops should be using our tax dollars and our resources to put both parties in jail. I just don't see how that's a hard concept. You put out a warrant for their arrest, you find where they are, and then you put them in bars. Like, I feel like there's enough evidence to, you know what I'm saying, at least for him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know too much about the family, but I feel like it's obvious.
It has to do with, okay, but let's get into this, because yeah, this is weird to me. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the fact that tragically her body was released. The family does have a GoFundMe up run by the sister. The sister saying they just want to lay her to rest. She said she didn't know where they were, and they didn't know that she was dating David, but the brother has come out and said, no, we did know where she was. I tend to believe the brother, just because before we even knew who was in that trunk, and they said that before we even knew who was in the trunk, or that there was somebody in the trunk, there were people all over Reddit forums and in David's comments talking to him about Celeste, about this, about that, saying she'd been missing, praying to God they hope it's not her. Okay, now let's get into this, all right? TMZ
weird.
says that Celeste's body was released to the family. They said the body of the girl found in singer David's car has been released to the family.
Like sometimes, like it's crazy if you see a situation. It's cliche, but say something. Like report it to the police. Like, you see some weird shit online, like they're making jokes about it. Like I don't know. I mean, the police they're as good as useless, but you know what I'm saying? It's still something.
The family can now claim her remains. That means that an autopsy must have been done, which means that they are moving closer to an arrest.
Can you imagine seeing your daughter or your sister dismembered or like cut up? Like it's horrible.
I still don't understand a world where somebody is found in the front trunk of a Tesla. And I keep saying this, if you've never had a Tesla or been around a Tesla, the front trunk is not like the back trunk where you just press a button and it pops open. The front trunk, you need a special key and code to get in there, because I think the generator, battery, whatever it is, an electric car is there. You need a special code, a special key to get in there. On top of that, there are cameras all over the Tesla. And the car is registered in his name. Okay? Her death is under investigation after cops found her decomposing and blanked up body inside the Tesla, which was impounded in a Hollywood tow yard. It was found early this month, the day before her 15th birthday, and authorities said it appears that she had been decomposing for a while. She'd been reporting missing last year, and our law enforcement sources told us she ran away multiple times because of trouble at home. Her middle school teacher said that she ran away back in January 2024. The teacher says the police found her in the Hollywood Hills a month later and took her home. So they found her in the Hollywood Hills. David's house is in the Hollywood Hills. Celeste wasn't even old enough to get a work permit in the state of California. So, like, what are we doing? Circumstantial evidence enough would be enough. And let's just say he says something crazy like, oh my God, she fell and slipped on some soap. Okay, I think it's still illegal to desecrate a body. I just would assume, right?
No, it is.
I mean, America's going crazy right now, but I assume those laws are still the same.
You gotta report about it, and you can't you can't modify anything. Like that's why we have autopsies to see how their death happened. You know what I'm saying? Like modifying is and like no, this motherfucker did it. Like I mean, obviously she's just giving an example of maybe, but no. Like I feel like common sense should definitely be used here.
Again, David lives in the Hollywood Hills. The cops got a search warrant to search his home, and the police were looking for blood evidence. This has been confirmed. Before cops were able to identify Celeste's body, they got a tip that she was the victim found in David's car. Again, the police are like, oh, she has an unclear relationship with David. The whole school knew. Well, not the whole school, but a lot of the little kids that went to school with Celeste knew she was dating David, because after she ran away at 13 years old or 13 years old, she still kept in touch with people from the school for a year, telling them like, yeah, I'm with my man, I'm with this, I'm with that. So
wait. So she's telling them maybe he's texting off of her phone. Who knows?
There was evidence linking them in a romantic relationship. Of course this girl had a troubled home. Why else would a 13-year-old run away from a loving home to be with somebody? And again, if it is true that he did it, and I do strongly believe it is based on the evidence, the odds that he wasn't abusive, nobody goes from 0 to 100 real quick. Not after you've been seeing them, talking to them as friends since you were like 10 or 11 years old. So, I mean, that's when they started with, they linked up in the Fortnite chat group, and then they took it offline. She was going to movies with them. She was this. I don't believe people that would commit romantic homicide, I don't think that you live in a violence-free situation. I think that the violence leaks out in different ways, the jealousy, the possessiveness, until finally it just overflows. Anyway,
That's an interesting take, that that a person who's definitely abusive, like, can't hide it. It's gonna like leak out one way or another.
We got in touch with Celeste's mother, who told us her daughter had a red tattoo on her right index finger. The mom also told us her daughter was dating a guy named David. Police have not revealed if they have a suspect. I think at this point, the only question we have to ask is, did he have an accomplice? Did he have an accomplice? If he didn't do something to Celeste, he has to know who did. Who was driving your Tesla? The Tesla was not reported stolen, and it was parked in front of your Hollywood Hills home.
Yeah,
so what
think about it. It's like, oh, he's on tour. He's like, hey, bro, I need you to open this up for me, right? Via your phone, or he had a phone, or he had a code. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Going on. Now, just to let you guys know, there has been new photos that surfaced of on August 24th, a girl that looks like Celeste up in the stands, the balcony, watching David's concert with what looks like maybe his manager or a friend or whatever. She looks like she's part of the entourage. However, when I look at those pictures, that girl does not look, I'm not sure that Celeste, it seems like there are two Celeste. One Celeste was the little girl. The other Celeste was in his music video, had been taken around, and did all this stuff. Just hear me out, and I'll expand this in a different video, okay? Because I don't want to hold you to it. There's so much going on. But just hear me out. If you are psychotic enough to murk someone, and you're psychotic enough to murk someone because maybe you decide they're a bad look or whatever it is, and you have her in the music video and you're making all these songs about her and everybody knows that you were dating and there's all these videos and live streams with her, is it really that far-fetched one step away to think that there is that second Celeste that I believe starred in the video that was around 23 years old, and you started getting girls that look like Celeste to come to...
Yeah, that's very normal. I don't think that's far-fetched at all. I think a lot of people have types. I think that definitely that he would try to replace her either as decoy or for personal interest, right? Because he wants her... He wants a girl like that with that name and with that look. For whatever reason, I don't fucking know. He's just a twisted guy.
Your shows as a decoy. Now, you can say maybe he was obsessed. Maybe that was his type. Maybe like when he sees girls that look, he was just like, oh yeah. But what if he really is some crazy psychopath that was getting decoys in order to make people think that the girl that everybody been seeing him around with for the last 2 years is still around? I don't know.
I don't think that's far-fetched at all. And I think that would make a lot of sense too. Because like, oh, you know, she's not... Because the thing is, his fan base kept asking questions about, yo, what happened to Celeste, this and that. And like, obviously his fan base, I have no idea if his fan base was close with the family or if it was the same world, you know what I'm saying, if they talked, you know, via his comments or whatnot, or if they saw his comments. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's far-fetched at all. Like, it actually makes sense. He's trying to cover up something. He knows that it's bad. And like, I don't... Either bro is really stupid or just like... Yeah, bro is just really fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's good because we need people who are psychotic like him to be fucking stupid so they can get caught right away, so they can take bad people like him off the fucking streets.
Just know that body being found in the Tesla, I don't think that was part of the plan, and I think everything's falling apart. Anyway, I'm going to expand this in the next video, but I wanted to put it out there. So I wanted to put it out there, but then again, I have to ask why, and let's get into this. Why it seems like the police are focusing more on Celeste's family than actually finding Celeste. Like, they could have been horrible people. Why are you not out there finding the suspect? Did we find her in the family's car? No, we did not. Anyway, they said that they've been trying to, they're tracking her history and they're trying to piece together the story of her life. We're told Lake Els and her family contacted Riverside County law enforcement at least twice to report Celeste missing. Our sources say homicide detectives believe there's lots of evidence Celeste comes from a troubled home and that may have triggered her desire to run away. Again, why are we focusing on the, I get it, but
I feel like it's sort of implied, like this girl's getting targeted by like a creepy adult. Some at home, home is not going to be a perfect place. You know what I'm saying? Like some neglect is definitely happening.
are we going to explain why the police never made an arrest? Why they never investigated? Why they just said, oh, well? Are we going to talk about the person? Have they talked to the person who they found her in his Tesla? I'm still waiting. TMZ spoke to a liquor store owner near where Celeste school.
Like, there's too many people who are in jail, who are innocent, for this to not be taken seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like this motherfucker definitely did that. Like, put this motherfucker under the jail and release the people who are actually innocent.
Bus picked her up, and he says there was one instance on March 19, 2024, where Celeste's sister came to a store to review surveillance footage in an attempt to trace Celeste's steps after she ran away. As we reported, her middle school teacher said Celeste had run away back in January. The teacher says police found her in the Hollywood Hills home a month later, took her home. It's worth noted David lives in a Hollywood home, as we said. It's unclear. What's unclear is if the family called the cops in Hollywood when Celeste disappeared in spring to find out where she had been staying, where they found her in February. Again, this is really weird. Does David have some type of connections? It's the record agency helping?
I believe so. I was gonna say that too. What the fuck? That's a funny place to pause it. But I think that, like, it's so weird. Like, I'll never understand like famous people obsession like with minors. Like, bro, you have access to all these other type of women and you decide to get with a child. Like, I'll never understand that. And like, definitely must have some type of connections, because like bro, just he can't keep getting away with this. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Confused at where you're going with this. I really am confused with the police investigation. And even to the fact of it was a troubled home, and I admit it might be, but predators look for those cracks in a troubled home. Like, that's like saying, oh, if you had just loved her better, this wouldn't have happened to her. Maybe or maybe not, but he just would have gone to somebody else's home. Like, do you get the issue?
Yep.
Do you get what the problem is? LAPD, the predator is the problem, because they're going to look for somebody to prey on. You see what I'm saying?
Because this dude's a clown. Obviously, I think that some of his songs are still good, but at the end of the day, like, think about who the target audience is from like the subject matter, because like it's just like very like emo-ish, slit my wrist, depression, like maybe XX type music, right? And target audience of like people who consume music like that are definitely like troubled young people who haven't regulated their emotions. Obviously, sadness and depression is not limited to an age, but at the end of the day, like, you get what I'm saying. Like, that's his target audience. Also, Fortnite, he already has like a young audience. He himself is super young, 20 years old, but doesn't make it right, because he still would have been an adult this entire process, this entire like timeline. So like, it's just fucking weird. It's just fucking weird. So like, yes, so she's right. So if it wasn't her, it would have been some other girl named Celeste, or you know what I'm saying?
Like, yes, there might have been cracks, but the predator looks for those cracks so they can exploit her. There was a 13-year-old being manipulated by a grown MFing man that every time her mom told her no, every time her mom told her she couldn't stay up late and eat ice cream because she had to go to school, every time her mom even maybe said, I wish I never had you. I don't know if her mom said that, but I'm just saying the lowest of the low a mom can say. He was right there to raise her, guide her, abuse her, get into her mind, groom her, if you will. So, I mean, where are the police going with this? Like, are you saying she acts to be murked? I'm very, very confused. There are troubled teens everywhere you go. Like, you deserve... Do y'all see what I'm saying? Again, I'm confused. Was she found in the family's car? Was she found parked in front of the family's house? Oh no, that's David. So why are we focused on the family? You want my opinion from this? I truly do think that the police realized that for whatever reason, they should have taken her disappearances seriously. And when they called the police 2 times, the police didn't bother to look for her. The police were like, oh, who cares? She's just a runaway. And the police just let it go. Now, did David play off the police? Is there something? Are the police more at fault? But I think the police are trying to put blame on the family to take up the fact that they didn't do their job. That's what they're around for. That's what we're paying our tax dollars for. But anyway, you guys, listen, I'll cover this in another video. Let me know what you think about this. This is very, very odd, very, very disturbing. But in this case, everything is odd. Everything is disturbing. We are going to be covering this case from the beginning, middle, and even up to trial, unless David does a Brian Kruger and confesses. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
It's funny because I feel like he's already did that. Like, I feel like he's already confessed. Like whether it be the songs or just really bad at hiding evidence. Shit was, I really don't get it. I really don't understand this world. This is just so fucking weird. And it's crazy because like it's like usually like the justice system is like known to like put a lot of people in worse situations and stuff like that, but no, he's just running around scot-free. It's like he must have been connected some way or another, and like the guy's creepy. So obviously him doing a sacrifice or any ritual, not too far-fetched from reality. I'm not trying to get in some tinfoil hat shit. At the end of the day, like, this is just another example of our justice system, like, failing us. And goddamn, that is just goddamn awful. Like, I just can't imagine dying at that age. I can't imagine my daughter dying or my sister dying, like, at that age. Like, that is just so fucking horrible. And like I said, like, maybe it's bad that I tried to ignore this story, but it's just so much fucked up shit's going on. But yeah, I feel like this story should not be ignored. After watching all these videos and looking more into it, like, we need to like, you know, really focus in on this and the Epstein files. I don't want to let them go. I really don't feel like we should let either of these go. This is very fucking weird. Like, our justice, I'm not even trying to get too political, but it's like, damn, like, you see our justice system has failed us, Celeste, all the young girls that, you know, the president raped and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying, love everyone around you and take care of those who are close to you. And if you made it this far in this video, I really appreciate you for watching and sticking with me this far. And if you could leave a like, I would appreciate that. And if you could subscribe, I would appreciate you again. And all in all, just be easy and take care of yourself. I'm out.